Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to tonight's call. This is for the children, this is for the kids. Welcome to tonight's call. My name is Eric McKinley. I'm the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders, and I am super excited to be on the call tonight to talk about personal finance for the kids. So I know you are out of school, and I know you are wondering, the parents are probably wondering, what is it that my kids are going to be able to do other than doing those thumb exercises? Well, got some information that we want to share with you. Got some information that we want to share with you that's going to hopefully make sense to you. And not to step on any parents' toes, but I know times are a little challenging and things get rough. You at work all the time, so I get it. So we're just gonna kind of fill in some of the blanks and share some personal education or personal financial education with you and with the children. So if you got the kids out there, their age is 12, and I'm gonna tell you to about 25, they should be on this call right now. So we got Miss Quartina Trafford out of Huntsville, Rocket City, Alabama. Say that
All right, get it right
times
now.
fast. All right, say that three times fast. She's on the call. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and share this. I'm going to go ahead and share this with a couple of people, and hopefully, people will start to see how important it is to get their children involved. So Wednesday nights are set aside for the children. Wednesday nights are set aside for the youth, and we are going to be talking about personal financial education every Wednesday for the summer. Okay, every Wednesday for the summer. So let me go ahead and share this with a couple of groups. Give me a second. We'll get some people involved. And as you jump on, do me a favor, drop your city and your state, like it, share it, and tag someone. And if somebody tags you and you got a question, make sure you get back with them, because I'm really sure that they are going to be able to answer some questions for you. Okay. A couple of more places I want to tag, man. Facebook has got this thing, because I'm going through StreamYard. Facebook has got this thing where you everything changes so much, man. So used to be you can just kind of like hit groups and hit people and all that stuff. Now you gotta go through the storm, man, to get people out here. So I got one more thing to do, and we'll be getting started. Hopefully y'all had a productive day today. I know I did. All right. Share that to my feed. Tag a couple of people. And y'all know what we talking about tonight? We're gonna be talking about budgeting. Now I'm not a huge fan of budgeting, but it's important. It's extremely important. Yeah, it's extremely important, right? We're gonna talk about budgeting. We're gonna talk about why it's important. Um, Getting our kids in the mood and the right frame of mind to understand finances and money. I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Do How many children go to the grocery store with their parents? I think that's a good place to start. How many people out there go to the grocery store with their parents? It's not a trick question. It's kind of important, because that's gonna kind of get you in the mindset or the mind frame um of actually learning the importance of budgeting. Learn the importance of budgeting. Now, it's not all about budgeting, but has a great deal to do with it. And I think that's good. I think I tagged enough people. All right, so yeah. So if you go to the grocery store with your parents, or how many of you guys go out there and actually pay bills with your parents? I know when I was little, my mom and dad didn't talk about budgeting, but they take us everywhere. That was back in the day. They take us everywhere, and we go to the store with them, and we had a shopping cart. See, back then we were going to make groceries. We weren't going to buy groceries. We were going to make groceries.
No, that must have been a Louisiana thing.
Okay, well, that's what we said. We was going to make groceries. And going to buy going to buy. James said he went to the store only to get what he wanted. LOL. Yeah, that was, you see, that didn't work for us. Cause see, we wanted to put that sugary cereal in the basket,
Yeah.
and, and they had plenty of sugar at the house. So it was cornflakes, it was
Mhm.
Cheerios, it was dry stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, it was dry stuff. But we're on here talking about we're going to be talking about this, guys. We're going to be talking about, I want to make sure I get this right, I don't want to mess it up. We're discussing the importance of creating a budget, and also just some basic things about what is going to take to actually create that budget, what's going to happen. So, and I think it's a good start that if your children are going to the store with you, I think that's a good start. Now, I know as parents we don't want our kids all in our business. I get it, but it's a different time now, and we
Mhm.
gotta prepare our kids for the times that's taking place right now. It's better that we educate our kids now than if we happen to have our kids educated by the world or by a system the hard way. And I don't know about you, but I took some hard hits. I took some hard shots being educated the hard way, mostly because I didn't want to listen. And then some of it was because, our parents, they did the best they could, and they shared what they thought they needed to share. But school was different too. School was different, Cortina. Remember, um,
Yeah.
we had we had we had home ec, we had
Mhm.
life skills classes in school when I
Yeah.
was going to school. Uh,
Account.
yeah, they taught us how to manage our checkbooks.
Yeah.
They taught us how to write, how to fill out applications. They did.
Yeah.
We had wood shop. We had all types of things. But this particular training tonight, I got about eight. I got about eight slides, 7 slides, something like that. But it's not gonna be long. It's not. We're gonna hit it, get into it, and then let it go. Okay. So, um, I'm going to share my screen. Go ahead and share my screen and bring this up. All right. All right. Should be able to see my screen now. If you're just jumping on, this is Eric McKinley, and we got Ms. Quartina Trafford on the call, and we are talking about the importance of creating a budget. Let's go ahead and get to it. What is a budget? Hey, there's a whole bunch of different definitions out there. Whether you go to Webster, whether you go to Wikipedia, any online dictionary, there's lots of definitions out there. But a budget is basically a plan for managing your money, how you gonna spend your money and or save your money during a given period of time. Okay, like let's just say, how much am I going to spend over a month? That's what a budget is. Okay, um, it's an itemized summary of probable income and expenses. Now I say probable because some things could happen, some things could change, right?
Right.
Given any time, some things can change. So you're gonna see on this training where we're gonna add some stuff in and show you how some things could change. So first, before you can actually create a budget, let's see how a budget is determined. Before you can create a budget, you got to identify how much money you're making, right? You can't start writing out no budget if you don't know what your monthly gross income is and your monthly net income.
Mhm.
So you gotta do that first. So a lot of people are going to say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and start writing some stuff off. I'm going to the grocery store. I know I got my monthly expenses. I know I got this, and this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go at it. Well, you cannot really do that with clarity unless you know what your gross is, but more importantly, what your net is. So we're gonna go back in here and we're gonna talk about those definitions, because now, as a child, and unfortunately some adults, they don't understand that gross versus net. Now, gross gross is really the total amount of money that you earn. When you signed that contract, when you signed that letter, that agreement letter, they told you that you were going to make $50,000 a year. $100,000, $120,000 for you, Cortina. They said that you was gonna make. They said you signed the agreement, say you're gonna make all this money, right? And what you didn't know is there was gonna be some things taken out of that. Payroll taxes, federal and state taxes, maybe even deductions like insurance, whether it's life insurance, health insurance, dental, whatever, right? So your gross is the amount of money that you actually get, that you actually signed up to receive, but the net is the amount of money that you actually receive. So let's talk about that for a minute. Gross versus net. Now, first job ever, working at McDonald's. I was 15 years young. And man, I was making, I don't want to get this wrong,
Probably like $3 an hour.
Yeah, it was like $3.15 an hour. $3.15 an hour was what I was making. And I did my numbers. And my numbers said that because they couldn't make me work 40 hours a week. I was a kid, right? Minors.
In school,
a minor, all that good stuff. So I was like working probably like 70 hours a week, 70. Every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, 70 hours a paycheck. And I just added my money up. So I took my little $3.15 and I multiplied it by 70. And I was like, this is how much I'm going to bring home. Man, I'm rich. And then that man hit me. Them people, them band of brothers hit me. People I never met before. Federal, state, FICA. They hit me. So the amount of money that I was, and I had two sections on my check. It was one section that said gross. And then it had one part that said net. And I found out later on when I became an adult that net was gross. It's nasty. It looked real jacked up. But that was my experience. My first experience is working a job. And I didn't know all those deductions were going to come out. I had no idea. But what about you, Tina?
My experience was similar. I started working when I was 15. I was working at Hardee's. And that's how come I knew about what you were making at that time. Because I remember it was like you said, like $3.50. And I remember, and I worked there until I graduated. And it was like, you were so excited to get that little raise. I think by the time I left there, I was actually making probably about $4.50. But that was back then to us a lot of money. But just like you, like, okay, I'm working this number of hours. I know I can expect to bring this amount home. To get the check, when you go pick up your check, we got paid weekly. Be like, man, I work more hours than this.
Yeah, it wasn't hours though. It was the deductions.
Yeah, it was the deductions. And I didn't know that back then. Well, I didn't put it together back there. Like, man, they killing me.
Yeah, it wasn't the hours. It was actually the deductions, and I had no idea that that was happening. We got Miss Bertha Winston just joining us in from the DMV. Hey, Miss Bertha, how you doing?
Bertha.
She probably having some mic issue. There you go, Miss Bertha. All right. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. We appreciate you. We're talking about this budget that these young kids need to understand about this budget. Talk about this budget, the growth. We just finished talking about the gross and the net income. And before you can actually write a budget, you got to know how much money you have.
Yeah.
So I know you probably took your kids to the store when they were little, shopping for groceries or whatnot. I know my mom and dad took us to pay bills. They can mail the bill in, but they was, my dad, he like to pay them. I want to make sure they get this money.
Yeah, we did. We took them.
And
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, sometimes I remember too. Sometimes, like my mom, she used to have us run inside to pay the bill for. Like,
drop it off. Yeah.
Go pay this for me. Yeah.
That was an experience though.
Yep, it was an experience.
And as we talk about it now and look back on it, that was experience that was actually prepping us. At the time, it was prepping us for what we were going to be doing, because a lot of people that I know around my age were kind of prepared, not as far as financial education, but they knew how to actually, balance a checkbook. They knew, even though they overspent, we overspent, we knew what it meant.
Yes, you have to
Yeah, but we had idea what it meant. Though, it was a different time back then. Now we really, and I don't want to digress, but we really ain't even using checkbooks right now. We just using debit cards.
The card.
Yeah, I still do. They
You know,
they laugh at me.
well, we because of business purposes, we use a lot of checks for business.
Yeah, my grandma, nobody using check. I tell her,
Grandma,
I got 3 checkbooks.
so and so it's a lot of things that take place when we're talking about a budget. I'm gonna go back and share my screen again, and I want you to understand. I'm not gonna go so deep into it, but because I want to keep it on the level to where the kids are gonna understand, and also the parents are gonna understand as well how we can talk to our kids.
Yeah.
We gotta be able to communicate with them. Okay, so check it out. Let's take a look at the different spendings. I should have said plural on it, but so you got regular spending, you got something called irregular spending, and then you have the future spending. So I hope I made that as plain as I could possibly make it. So check it out. Regular spending. Man, I hope I finished my PowerPoint. I don't want to be embarrassed on this next slide. I'm gonna break it down. So regular spending basically is for goods and services that we normally or regularly purchase during the month. What's one of the goods and services that we might normally purchase during the month? Groceries. Car insurance.
Gas.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah.
I mean, even though the gas is going to fall under, because it's going to fluctuate, because gas prices fluctuate. But your cable bill, your cell phone bill,
All that.
those things are fixed. They because you got regular spending can be broken down into further into fixed spending and variable spending. So the fixed stuff is going to be like your mortgage, your car insurance, your light bills, your water. Well, no, not your light bills. I can't say that. That's going to be variable because that changes. You got your car insurance, you got your cell phone bill, you got your man, like I don't even pay bills. My wife paid the bills.
So do I.
I don't know what's going on, man. But it's a lot. The car note. Okay, thanks, James. The car note. Those things are fixed. Okay, so anything that's fixed. Now the variable things are groceries.
Yeah.
Still want to put a budget in there because you don't want to go to the store hungry, number one, and you don't want to go to the store and you exceed your budget, because if you exceed your budget, that means something else, some other section is going to be hurting, right? Even entertainment. We used to get money for the movies. We had probably about $20 set aside a month to go to the dollar movie. There was $1 movies then.
Oh yeah, man.
I love the dollar movies.
Yeah.
It might
Most military was dollar movies.
Yeah, it might have had only 1 or 2 movies, or one featured movie, but we used to have fun back then. But food, utilities, those things they vary from month to month.
Yeah.
But you have a budget, right? You got to have a budget. You got to know what it is, or kind of because we know in the summer months, the electricity is going to go up because we got the AC going on.
Yeah.
In the winter months, we can kind of gauge it because we can have blankets, right? We can have blankets and kind of, control that a little bit more. Water usage, right?
Yeah.
If you got gas, if you have gas utensils in your household. So things like that are gonna vary. So that's the regular spending. Now let's talk about this irregular spending. Because this irregular spending, this is what's gonna get you. Okay. It's what's gonna get you. And yeah, I see. Don't laugh at me, y'all. It ran right off the page. So, listen, I'll be putting this stuff together so fast sometimes. Man, and multitasking and forgetting to put the lid back on the ink and I'm making all kind of messes out here. But
at least you're doing something.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to get the point.
I want to be productive. I don't want to be busy. I want to be productive. So the irregular spending, periodic spending, that's what it's called. For goods and services that are not normally purchased every month. So think about it. A membership. Let's say we got a membership that's due once a year, or a membership that's done and we pay it once a quarter. And it comes up in that month.
Right.
We got to set aside for that's a special budget.
Yeah.
Maybe we pay our insurance every 6 months to save money, right? Maybe we pay our insurance annually to save money. I don't know.
Right.
Irregular spending can be allocated or is allocated income to what most people think of as short-term, maybe that's supposed to be short-term savings. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to stop the share so you can actually see that. See if I can bring that back up. If I can bring that back up, I think I can. Short-term savings. Okay. And I'm gonna move this around a little bit, y'all, so you have an idea to see this. Okay. So what y'all think about that? The irregular spending. Irregular spending.
Well, I know with me with the irregular spending, my groceries, like my groceries, the bill fluctuate because really it's just me, and I say sometimes my son because he's in and out, so that fluctuate. But I know I do allocate a certain amount each month, and then yes, a lot of times I go over that because I go into the grocery store and I shop with my eyes. That's more not on the list.
Emotional shopping.
Yes, I do that
Yeah.
a lot. I do have like one or two bills that I pay quarterly. So that's not like monthly, but it is allocated on my budget. And I would say up until last year, I really didn't have a budget. I just kind of budget everything in my head. I knew
Mm,
how.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, when you got a lot of money, you can do that, Thomas Burton.
No,
Yeah.
no, not really. But
I know y'all know.
I didn't have it written down so I could look at it. And then
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the end of the year, I start, gathering, things and saying, I really got to focus on budgeting. And especially now, in fact, I was just working on my budget last night as we're speaking.
Oh.
I didn't know what the topic was going to be tonight, but I was working on my budget
Mhm.
because things are changing. So
Yeah.
I'm making sure that my budget was in line because I do have some goals. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely trying to stay on target with my budget.
Yeah.
So hold up before you go, Miss Bertha. You said something, Cortina, about grocery bills in the irregular spending, and you're absolutely right. Let me pop this back. So regular spending can be groceries, it could be food, but then go back. I may go out there and I see something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a sale on something,
Yep.
or it says, hey, people think of irregular spending as short-term savings, and that means that if I pay my my insurance bill for 6 months, I may save $5 a month or $2 a month. So that's kind of a short-term savings too. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's kind of cool how you said that about the grocery bill, because you may see something on sale or maybe a holiday that you want to go shop specifically for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you got, Miss Bertha?
My grocery bill is really small because in our area we have all these food banks that churches that give out food.
Yeah.
So, my husband usually pick up something like maybe twice a week, and a lot of time they give out vegetables and milk and a whole bunch of stuff. So our grocery bill is really very, very small. And then I take my lunch every day. So, I mean, I don't do a lot of spending as far as grocery goes, which
I,
is a blessing.
I might need to move. We might need to move to the DMV. Y'all give some groceries.
I was thinking that too. Oh, y'all really doing
DC to give out groceries.
I'm serious. I mean, like every day, somebody's going to a food something. And my son-in-law, we always getting cabbage and potatoes and onion, and we just feed the whole neighborhood.
Kids don't eat that stuff no more though, Miss Bertha. They turn their nose up at stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's just my husband and I, so we don't even have any kids. And
Yeah.
so really, we don't eat a lot. So, we give out a lot of food every week, church and neighbors, and, so we have a very minimal food bill.
That's kind of how it's been. Kind of how it's been since I had the garden, right? The
Right.
garden.
Exactly.
It's producing so much, I can't eat it all. So I bring the stuff to the office.
Yeah.
And when customers come in,
Yeah.
have a bag. Hey, take your
That's
couple
it. That's right.
zucchinis or something with you.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
that is a blessing. And then not only that, it's natural, and you know it ain't got no preservatives and stuff in it. So
yeah.
hey, that's very, very, very natural and good.
And then our grocery bill, I would assume that is down. Like I said, I don't go and do
Yeah,
all that stuff, but I
yeah.
was that is down because we don't do a lot of eating out, and
Right. That
then
either. Yeah,
we're eating in the office.
yeah,
So it's 8:30 here,
yeah,
and dinner was prepared here.
yeah.
So that's kind of a control. So, but you got to think about it for the kids that are out there listening and actually seeing
Mm-hmm.
this, the parents that share this with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Budgeting is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to talk about budgeting because a lot of people don't, because budgeting is kind of about, it takes discipline,
Yeah, it does.
and it's not fun to talk about, hey, this is all I can buy, and when
Mm-hmm.
the money is up, I'm done. Nobody want to hear that, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
especially nobody going to work every day. They don't want to
yeah,
hear it. But
yeah,
that's the discipline that it's going to take for us
yeah.
to be able to survive financially, and then in the future thrive financially. Because if you have a budget, a reasonable budget,
Mm,
not it doesn't necessarily have to be a tight one,
yeah.
but if you have a reasonable budget, and let's say my budget for my grocery bill may be $300,
Mm-hmm.
but I only spend $250 for that month.
Mm-hmm.
I could take that $50 and put it somewhere else
Mhm.
within my management of my budget.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah,
I could take that money and put it somewhere else. Yeah,
right.
we got Miss Valerie Northland. She talking about send me some. Yeah, by the time
Yeah, I know, man. When I saw that, I was like, wow, you had the spread. I was like, give me some of them tomatoes, man.
yeah, say, by the time y'all get them groceries, they ain't gonna be no good. They're gonna be the spoiled.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But
I know.
they're really it really kind of helps us out. And I think this fall when I do my fall garden, I'm gonna do some real good
Yeah,
planning,
yeah.
so I know what I want to plant and
Yeah,
everything.
you need to do them collards and kale.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because
That's the good eating right there.
they travel too. They travel well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, travel well. So
that collard and kale, man. That's some good eating right there.
Miss Bertha got some of those zucchini, y'all. So if y'all
Yes,
look
I did. It was so good.
and
Yes,
and
and the yellow
squash
squash.
and the
Yeah.
squash, yeah.
Hmm.
And a couple of I gave you a
And
couple of
tomato. Yeah.
I think a
And
bell pepper or two.
bell pepper. Yeah.
But so budgeting, and I don't want to get off topic, but budgeting is very important to
Yeah.
everyone because we don't want to go over our budget. See, most
Yeah.
people out there are living paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to Monday
Hmm.
or paycheck to the next day. And oftentimes it's because we overshoot our budget. So if we can kind of live within our means, it's going to help us out to understand a little bit more about how money works. Okay, a little bit more about how money works. We got one more slide, and then we can close this thing up because, like I said, we ain't gonna be doing a whole bunch of talking, y'all. I'm telling you. So the last one is gonna be the future spending.
Hmm.
Spending. That's for the purchase of goods and services in the future, typically beyond a year.
Hmm.
Now, what type of stuff you gonna buy beyond a year? Any examples?
Mm.
Mm.
um, I guess a car if you want a new car, a new home, big purchase, ticketed items that I would think of for future spending. But one other thing that I'll put in this category is like future. I plan for like maintenance of my vehicle, so
Okay.
I allocate roughly. I kind of know how much my maintenance, gonna cost. The scheduled maintenance schedule. I have to say scheduled maintenance.
Right. Right.
Gonna run me, for a year. Have that allocated and put aside. So
Hmm.
that's
So
what I look.
you're doing the most.
I'm trying to get it together.
I'm just saying, a lot of people don't think about that. You're right.
Mhm.
Cars,
Yeah.
homes,
Yeah.
any other long term, maybe vacation homes,
And appliances too,
appliances. Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you're buying furniture, you may be financing furniture,
Mhm.
anything like that. It talks about So, like, say a person might save 10% of their income over a year. So let's talk about investing. That's future spending as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Future spending is investing.
Yeah.
And
You're
you, if
right.
you save 10% of your income, if you put that
Hmm.
in your budget,
Yeah.
then guess what? You won't miss it.
You won't miss it. That's
You
what
won't
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
put it in your budget. You won't miss it.
Hmm.
So future spending is also saving for
Hmm.
retirement, um,
Emergency fund.
emergency funds,
Hmm.
and we have several. We have
Yeah.
several emergency funds. We
Yeah.
may have a trip a trip vacation fund.
Hmm.
Like Cortina says, she's got a vehicle fund, vehicle maintenance fund.
Hmm.
Those things are going to happen. Those things are going to happen. So we want to make sure we plan for them. So if y'all are out there listening, if their parents actually are sharing this information with their kids, and hey, bring them in and let them know this is the stuff that y'all have to go through.
Hmm.
So when the kids start asking for all them toys and all them
Hmm.
designer clothes and shoes and stuff like that, and you try
Hmm.
to explain to them why, first off, you ain't got to explain nothing. They
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. They got
Hmm.
too much to decide on. Let me stop. But the other thing is getting them involved early, getting them involved early on with money, and letting them
Yeah.
understand that money, like the saying goes, money doesn't grow on trees. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a resource, and we
Yeah.
have to take our resources seriously. So, Miss
Yeah.
Burke,
Hmm.
if you had somebody out there listening, whether it might be your great grands out there listening,
Hmm.
great grands out there listening, or anybody in your family who you may have deemed in the past not as responsible as they probably should have been. What would you, I'm watching my verbiage, I'm watching my tone. What would you tell someone out there that's saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to be on a budget. I don't like being on a budget. What would you tell them, why it's important to have a budget?
It's important because that's your guide. It directs you as to, what you're doing and what you can do and cannot do. You know, I'm always stressing to my family or grandchildren and children, about having an emergency fund, about, putting some money aside, start investing because, life is life and it's gonna hit you,
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
it's something gonna happen, so what are you when it does, what are you gonna do? Like, for instance, right now, my daughter's brother-in-law passed, and he doesn't have an insurance, like 40 something years old. These are things that you got to take care of because if you don't, someone else have to do it, you
So
know.
that life insurance policy, and I'm sorry to hear about the
Yeah,
loss,
right.
but that life insurance policy is another thing that's a long term, that
Yeah,
should be future, that should be
yeah,
put in the budget.
yeah,
So here, here's some things. Just some quick tidbits. When,
yeah.
when people say they don't have it, they cannot afford it, I want you to look at the things that you don't need.
That's right.
Look at. I'm not saying to wipe it totally away,
No.
but to get $10,000 or get burial insurance,
Yes,
maybe
yes.
even if you don't have the amount of money, and I don't want to talk out of turn, but
Right,
even if you don't have the amount of money to have a policy that's going to leave someone some wealth, at
right.
least get the insurance that's going to take care of the
Take care of
service.
your right. Your,
Um,
at least your barrel.
you're
Your
talking about
funeral.
you're talking
Yeah,
about $25 a month.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So now you got to look at your habits.
Hmm.
You like to drink, you like to smoke, you like to eat out, you like to go and buy. So maybe take $5, $10 from each one of those habits.
Hmm.
Or there's some other things you can do. You can actually learn how to correct your W-4 if you got a job, minimize those taxes, and take that money and shift it towards the things that you say you didn't have the money to do.
And
There's
all those things come with payment plans,
all those things come with payment plans.
you
So
know.
lots of things we can do. Lots
Oh
of things.
yeah. This
But
is it's such a necessity that people take for granted or look over.
it's because we're not educated though. See,
Not always.
a- a-
Some people just don't feel it's not necessary.
or they don't see the value. So
Yeah,
it's going to either be lack of education or
yeah,
understanding,
yeah, yeah,
or don't see the value in it,
yeah,
or
yeah.
thinking it's not going to happen to me. I'm gonna tell
Right.
you something.
Exactly.
Everybody gonna die, y'all.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's a part of life.
It is.
That's a conversation me and my mom have all the time. Death is a part of life.
It is.
So while you're here, prepare for it.
Prepare. That's it.
Be responsible and prepare for it. And if you don't know how to do that, once again, get back with me.
Yeah.
With the person that shares this with you, so we can help kind of walk you through and guide you through it. We're not subject matter experts on that, but
Right.
we've all been living long enough to know.
Yeah.
And had someone to pass away, like you said, without the right benefit,
Right.
things in place. So that's
Yeah.
something to think about. That should be in your budget, though. It should be in your budget.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
But
Most
thank
definitely.
you for that, Miss Bertha. Miss Quartina, you got somebody out there. They listening. They saying, hey, you know what? I ain't got time for no budget. I'm a ball till I fall. I'm a live
And
my
that's what gonna happen too. They're gonna ball and gonna fall.
I'm gonna live my best lie. I ain't worried about what you saying about me. I'm gonna live my best lie. I'm gonna be on Facebook. I'm gonna tell them I got all. What would you tell somebody who out there listening that's saying, hey, things are tight and I just don't have it?
Yeah.
What would you say after seeing this small bit of information?
Well, I would tell you, you just said something that made me think of something. People who are out there balling, they're balling on a budget because whatever income they do have, they're taking that to finance, living their best life. So if you're going to take your income to finance your best life, your party lifestyle, or whatever I want to do lifestyle, then you can take a little bit of that income, set it aside for the important stuff, bills, as well as I know for myself, with my son, I started him early on the budget. And that's one thing I can commend him about. He's about to be 25 this year. When he was like 12, he got a youth debit card. And I was deployed a lot. So that's one thing I did. I gave him a monthly allowance and he started saving his money from that point. And he knew how much he had to go do extra stuff with or to get what he wanted. So he started early. So I advise people out there who's looking and listening, if you don't do it with yourself, at least start it with your kids. And all the money that you're spending on, like we said, the nice to have stuff, the labels, take that money, put it, on a prepaid card, debit card. They have those, the youth checking accounts, the youth cards. Put it on that card and start that child with learning how to manage money at an early age. And Miss Bertha, going back to something that you were saying earlier, you're always talking to your family about saving money, investing money. I was doing that this morning. I try to listen to something educational every morning. So I came across something this morning and I shared it with my family group. And then that started a conversation from there. And you got to start somewhere. So I did a challenge. I'm sorry if you hear my granddog barking.
He's back there.
Yes, I don't know what he wants. He has an attitude right now. We want to go do something. So, but he back here talking. Hush.
Hey, Achilles.
I apologize, but that was something I was speaking with them about. So I did a challenge. I said, it's just a challenge for this month, and it's a small amount. I said it's $100. I said, let's take $100, and we're all gonna have our hands on $100 this month. Let's take $100, either put it in a savings account or go buy a stock. And I said, at the end of the month, we all got to show proof that we've done it.
Right.
So much conversation after that, but I'm gonna see how many of my family that challenge.
That's good. That's good.
So in the army, you used to call it dead air. So after that, it's dead air.
It was dead air.
That's radio talk, Miss Bertha. You know dead air.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Jackie,
that's good.
It's great to challenge each other. Small steps, small rewards, and huge benefits towards the end. So that's something else out there, parents. If you're out there listening, encourage your children, and also, y'all challenge each other. Let's put aside so many dollars a day. Let's instead of eating out 5 days a week, let's eat out 2 days a week. Let's make it a treat instead of making it a necessity. And take that additional cash let it flow and grow to something else. Imagine this. Imagine eating out every day. Imagine eating out every day and spending, let's say, on average for a family of $35. Let's say $40 a day, every day
Wow.
for
Woo.
5 days. That's $400 a week. Excuse me. That's $200 a week. I apologize. $200 a week. By the end of the month, if you do that, that's $800 a month.
Lord have mercy.
I'm not counting anybody's pockets, but for the people out there that say, I don't have the money, you're right, you don't. Fast food people have it. Go back and get it. And tone it down to maybe just doing maybe the weekends. That's $800 a month going towards groceries, but they're going towards non-traditional groceries.
Yeah.
So there's other ways that we can actually help each other out and put us on the right track. So listen.
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully you got some value out of this. I didn't want to go so deep into, hey, this is how we're going to create a budget, but I wanted to give you some education on how to actually start to apply these things and what it takes to get started. So we got Miss Bertha Winston out the DMV. We got Miss Cortina Trafford out of Huntsville, Alabama. And then yours truly coming out of Columbia, South Carolina. Listen, like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Listen, like it, share it, tag somebody. Go back and look at it again. It was a short transcript. Look at it again. Sit down with your kids and kind of involve them in what you're doing as much as you feel comfortable with and as much as you think they can understand. Because you'd be surprised they understand a lot more than you.
They do.
And then you'd be surprised the type of personalities that you have raised because they may just stop asking for all this junk. And then they may be able to influence you to help you get your budget together.
They watching.
They watching you throw that money away. But hey, listen, we're gonna be back on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time talking about some business or some finance, whatever it is, probably some business. And just join us back here on this channel. But I hope you guys had a good time. I did. I enjoyed this. We're gonna see everybody at the top.
Too many people struggling at the bottom, y'all. We're trying to get y'all on top.
Hey, we're gonna be giving this stuff away, man. Y'all take care and y'all be blessed. Peace.
You too. God bless.
Good night.